Law. It's that thing we're supposed to follow but often don't understand. Kind of like iTunes terms and conditions, but with higher stakes. This essay breaks down some big legal ideas because, believe it or not, they affect your life. We're diving into the philosophy behind law, not just memorizing rules. Think of it like this. Understanding the why makes the what less arbitrary. Knowing this stuff matters. It helps us participate in debates, challenge injustices, and even win arguments with that one friend who always has to be right. So buckle up, we're about to make legal theory as exciting as a runaway train full of puppies, or at least mildly interesting. In A Companion to Philosophy of Law and Legal Theory, Dennis Patterson provides a comprehensive overview of legal theory, exploring the fundamental questions and concepts that shape our understanding of law.
You need to hear this if you're a law student or legal enthusiast. First up, legal positivism. Sounds fancy, right? Don't worry, it's pretty straightforward. Positivists believe that law is what's written down, plain and simple. Think of it like a recipe. If it ain't in the book, it ain't law. This means following laws created through a proper process, even if we personally disagree. Imagine a law banning hats indoors. A positivist judge would uphold it, even if they think it's silly, as long as it was passed legally. This approach provides clarity and predictability. We know what the rules are, and that makes society a bit less chaotic. But it also means sometimes laws can be enforced even if they feel morally wrong.
I bet you didn't know that natural law is a theory deeply rooted in morality and inherent rights. According to A Companion to Philosophy of Law and Legal Theory by Dennis Patterson, natural law suggests that if a law doesn't align with our sense of right and wrong, we shouldn't follow it. Think of it like the civil rights movement. People broke segregation laws because they believed those laws were morally wrong, even though they were legally valid. Natural law can be powerful for social change, but it's also messy. Everyone has different morals. Should marijuana be legal based on individual liberty? Natural law says maybe, but it depends on who you ask. So, while positivism focuses on what is the law, natural law asks, what should the law be? Deep, right?
I don't think people understand critical legal studies. Question everything, including this essay. Hold on to your hats, folks, because Critical Legal Studies, or CLS, is here to shake things up. CLS argues that law isn't neutral. It claims law often reflects the biases of those in power, which, let's be honest, is usually not us. Think about it. Why are some drugs illegal while others are perfectly fine, even if they're both harmful? CLS might suggest it has something to do with who profits from those substances and who has the power to influence lawmaking. This theory encourages us to question everything and look for hidden power dynamics. It's like that friend who always points out the plot holes in movies, but for the legal system. CLS reminds us that law is a tool that can be used for good or bad, and it challenges us to fight for a fairer system.
You need to watch this if you struggle with understanding the role of judges. Now, let's talk about the folks in robes judges. They interpret and apply the law, but their role is more complex than you might think. Positivists believe judges should be impartial, like robots programmed with the legal code. But natural law suggests judges should consider morality and fairness, even if it means bending the rules a bit. In reality, judges are somewhere in between. They're bound by the law, but they also have some flexibility in their interpretation. This is where things get really interesting, as different judges can view the same law in different ways. Think of it like calling balls and strikes in baseball. A strict positivist judge calls it like they see it, no matter what. A more naturalistic judge might consider the situation and the players involved.
If you're a law student, then you need to understand globalization. Finally, let's add another layer of complexity: globalization. We live in a world where countries are increasingly interconnected, and this has a huge impact on law. Think about international trade agreements or environmental regulations. These issues require countries to work together and create laws that transcend borders. But globalization also presents challenges. How do we reconcile different legal systems and cultural values? How do we ensure justice in a world where corporations can easily move operations to countries with laxer regulations? These are big questions, folks, and there are no easy answers. But one thing's for sure, understanding different legal theories is more important than ever in our increasingly globalized world. So, the next time you see a law you disagree with, don't just grumble about it. Think about the theories we've discussed and ask yourself, what kind of legal system do we want? And how can we work together to make it a reality?